Ricky Williams' numbers have gone up every year he has been a pro. Last season, 1,853 yards rushing led the NFL. And now the former Heisman Trophy winner has his sights set on 2,000. And there is no reason to believe he won't reach that goal either. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. It's great to have you with us. This is a big early season game for the Miami Dolphins, especially after that stumble on opening day. They haven't made that many big plays on defense, but if they can win tonight, everyone will jump back on the bandwagon. After a 2-0 start, there's no room on the Buffalo bandwagon. Their defense has improved dramatically. And Joe, when you've got a good defense over here and Drew Bledsoe over there, you're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, you really are, Mike. And Drew Bledsoe has been really good. As a matter of fact, the Buffalo Bills wanted to try and go out and take some pressure off him and bring a running game in. Ha! It doesn't work that way. Drew Bledsoe is the reason why the Buffalo Bills have become a 2-0 football team. He threw for almost 500 yards last year against this Dolphin team. Look for the ball to go up in the air. As far as the Dolphins go, it's Ricky Williams left, Ricky Williams right. If Ricky runs the ball, Buffalo's off the field. If Ricky runs the ball, there's play-action passes and opportunities down the field. If Ricky runs the ball, the Miami Dolphins will have a chance to win this football game. Did I tell you? It's got to be Ricky's game.
Yeah, you did, and you're right. Last year, the Buffalo defense allowed 25 points a game. So far this year, only 8.5. And, Paul, all the guys they signed on defense have been a perfect fit.
You know, Michael, not since the great Bruce Smith have the Buffalo Bills had an impact player on defense. Well, with the insertion of linebacker Takeo Spikes, they have that impact player. Takeo Spikes is a great player, but he's been bottled up down in Cincinnati for the last 5 years playing on a lousy football team, and this is his coming out party. When you sit down with Takeo and you talk to him, you realize how wired and how intense this guy really is. This is his time tonight is on prime time. You know, the most important thing, this is the first time that he has played against Ricky Williams.
All right, thank you, Paul. And Takeo Spikes is wired on Sunday Night Football. In fact, he's been wired ever since he left Cincinnati. The Bills and the Dolphins when we come back.
Still ain't hot enough, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
You damn right.
So we got to make it hot.
Make it hot.
We got to make it hot.
Make it hot.
We got to make it hot. Hey, it ain't 110 degrees in the temperature out
It
here.
ain't 110.
So you know what?
You easily win.
Me and my dudes going to make it 110.
Welcome back to Miami for the Bills and the Dolphins. Visa presents ESPN Skycam, innovative technology on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Skycam provides some of the most unique and memorable images ever seen from angles no other single camera in the world can achieve. We're excited to bring it to you every Sunday night. To a man, the Bills are adamant that stopping the Dolphins means stopping Ricky Williams. Susie, everybody says that, but few can do it.
Which is why Ricky Williams led the NFL in rushing last year. But yet, when the team needed a big play, needed to get fired up, even he says he looked to the defense. But not this year. This year, he's looking to himself. He told us he finally figured it out just this week. And the message came to him during a movie trailer for the new Russell Crowe film.
The talk around here with me lately has been kind of, you know, when am I going to be more of a leader, take more of a leadership role? And I kind of been struggling myself with, you know, what's a leader, what makes a leader? And there was a scene in the preview where it was talking about, you know, a leader is brave, courageous, strong. And I've realized the way for me to be a leader is when the game is on the line, step up and make a play. And when you do that time and again, the guys on the team really respect you and look up to you and look to you for leadership.
Like Ricky Williams is why the Bills added bulk up front. Big defensive tackle Sam Adams, who's played in 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls, says Ricky Williams makes you play better than you've ever played before. He always hits the hole. He always plays technically sound. He always makes you pay.
Ricky, 11 against 1. You do the math.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Sellout crowd here at Pro Players Stadium. Greg Williams in the final year of his contract, expecting big things that could pay off in a bonanza for him. He has a really good football team this year and is very optimistic. Dave Wanstead, the former coach of the Chicago Bears, where he was the NFC Coach of the Year, missed the playoffs a season ago, equally optimistic here in Miami this season. Miami will receive.
A lot of
there is Charlie Rogers, the former Bill.
A lot of coaches would take a 32-18 record.
Absolutely.
That's the job Dave Wanstead has done here in Miami.
Lindell to kick. And we are underway in Miami. High and short. Travis Minor comes up, but it's taken by Rogers. Rogers with the seam across the 35. Up front, a good run blocking line for Miami. Rookie Wade Smith has done an outstanding job filling in for the injured Mark Dixon. Chris Chambers is off to a great start. A big play receiver in his third year, averaging a whopping 19 yards a catch. And Ricky Williams averaging almost 100 yards a game, trying to defend last year's rushing title when he picked up 1,853 yards.
One thing about Ricky that I really like when you watch film on him is the way he sets up blocks.
Very patient runner.
Yes, he is.
Conrad is the man in motion. He's the fullback. Ricky off the left side. Swallowed up as he picked up 2. The Buffalo defense vastly improved because of free agent Sam Adams helped stop the run and eats up blockers for the linebackers. Another new addition to Keo Spikes, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week in his first game, a sideline-to-sideline impact player. And All-Pro Lawyer Malloy was added only a few days before the season. He was a great pickup for his physical play and his leadership. McMichael and Lee in a 2 tight end set. And Adams jumped.
Encroachment. Defense number 95.
You can't blame
Five-yard
him
penalty.
for a little bit nervous in this
Second
football
down.
game. I mean, this rivalry is so intense. It's been going on since last week. As soon as the games ended last week, that's when it started.
And it's a terrific job by Jay Fiedler getting Greg Williams' defense to jump off. They know they've added energy on that side of the ball. Take advantage of it.
That makes it 2nd and 3. Williams is the single setback. And Fiedler to throw on first down. Darius Thompson, who has complained he hasn't had enough balls thrown to him, makes his 2nd catch of the season. Nate Clements made the tackle. Jay Fiedler seen as a caretaker of this offense with the running game, but his 68.2% winning percentage trails only Kurt Warner among active quarterbacks. This guy, whatever you say about his arm or the fact that he's not Dan Marino, he is a winner, and he always has been. First down in midfield, Dolphins. Play action by Fiedler. Very mobile, very quick. And Fiedler for Chambers. Jump ball intercepted by the Bills. Nate Clements cut in front. That ball just hung in the air, and Clements got over. But there is a flag down.
Jay Fiedler just waits so long to get this ball in the air. He's trying to beat Antoine Winfield, and Chambers does have him beat on the right side. It's Nate Clements that comes from the other side, the other corner, to make the play on the ball.
Well, they made a play action to get everybody pulled to the left side of the offense, the right side of the defense, with Ricky going that way. The only problem is that Nate Clements didn't do it.
Personal foul. Number 88. After the play was over. 15-yard penalty.
That's Darius Thompson.
See, Chambers has got Winfield beat because he has a height advantage. The guy he doesn't have a height advantage on is Nate Clements.
That is the 5th interception for the Buffalo Bills. All of last year, they had 10. The Dolphins turn it over on their opening possession, and the Bills get the football at their 24-yard line. Travis Henry, the single setback behind Bledsoe. The Bills have had no luck running this year. They have no luck on that play. Joe, let's go back to the pick.
This is just great awareness by Nate Clements. Nate Clements, you see, is down on the lower part of your screen. Up top is Chambers. Now, Antoine Winfield is the corner. Chambers going to run a little pump and go up top. Jay Fiedler runs the play-action fake, but Nate Clements just is very aware of what's going on. What they do is they run the wide receiver Thompson across the flat, and you see the corner go all the way back. If Nate Clements isn't there to make the play, then I think it's a completion. Great observation, great looking by an off corner.
Empty backfield for Bledsoe. Short set, throws over the middle. There's a flag down. They'll whistle the play dead. Somebody moved.
Ball start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
The Bills' offensive line has done a great job in pass protection so far, allowing only 2 sacks. 7-time Pro Bowler Reuben Brown is the leader. Eric Moulds is the big play threat, almost 20 yards a catch. Last season, the first Bill ever with 100 grabs. The Bills want to run more, but their ultimate weapon is Drew Bledsoe, the prototype pocket passer with the second highest rating in the NFL.
And the Miami Dolphins believe that one thing that they really have to do tonight, and that is to get into Drew Bledsoe's face and make him throw the ball up.
Blitz coming. Zach Thomas from the middle didn't get there. Quick toss to the tight end, Mark Campbell, but he doesn't get anything.
Well, Junior Seau comes up on the blitz, and that's what they want to do. What they need to do tonight to stop Bledsoe from sitting in that pocket. Last week against Jacksonville, they never even got close to him, Joe. He sat there and threw the ball wherever he wanted to. Now they're going to bring people up into his face.
Clarence Coleman, number 85, checks in as an additional wide receiver on 3rd and 13. Another blitz coming. They pick it up. And Bledsoe too high to the sideline, intended for Bobby Shaw.
I'll tell you, that time they didn't get to Bledsoe. And he sat back there, but they just didn't have anybody open.
Well, this is a little bit of a philosophical change for the Miami Dolphins. They've always been about an 85% man team. Jim Bates, their defensive coordinator, felt that they were getting hurt with people running away from Zach Thomas in the middle of the defense, so he's gone more zone.
Brian Moorman, who leads the NFL in punting and net average, gets off a poor kick off the left side of his foot, out of bounds, barely into Miami territory. Great field position for the Dolphins as they will get their second possession. Only a 35-yard kick. And Ricky Williams and company will go back to work when we come back.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Charles Schwab. There's never been a better time for Charles Schwab. Saturn, makers of the highly adaptable View, redesigned L-Series, and the fun-to-drive Ion. And McDonald's.
You want boats? We got boats. We're loaded with boats.
You know, the big thing about the Dolphins, I think they want to try and get this game into the fourth quarter. Try and tire out that Bills defense. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm coming out and throwing short passes and running the ball a little bit here.
Ricky offset and gets the draw anyway. Got the speed to get outside. Turns the corner. Pushed out of bounds at midfield.
Boy, I'll tell you one thing he can do. And I mean, he really can do that. We said, yeah, well, there's a whole lot he can do. But when he's getting to the outside on that corner, Takeo Spikes misses him. You're not going to one-arm this guy. Now watch him run to the left, but watch him break to the outside. Now, Takeo Spikes has already missed him. There's just no way to get to him.
And, Paul, you made a great point of it in the open. You said that Takeo has never played against Ricky. I think what you see there is a guy who isn't quite as familiar with how fast this guy really is.
Because you can't tell on film how fast the guy is.
He's down to 226, the lowest weight since he won the Heisman Trophy at Texas. And it looked like Pat Williams jumped this time. But Ricky is quicker. He wanted to get quicker this season so he could make cuts like that.
Encroachment. Defense number 93.
This is
5-yard penalty.
This is just some terrific mental work. We talk about Jay Fiedler being a quarterback who manages a game. Part of managing a game is using the hard count to your advantage so that you slow down that rush just a little bit. I mean, now that Bills defense, they can't be ready to fire off there as easily.
Ricky pulls his way almost 5. We said Takeo Spikes is wired for Sunday night. He's already worried about Ricky Williams.
Remember, you go in on the blitz, Ricky like to cut. If he don't cut, it's a screen. Jose, Ricky like to cut if you blitz. If he don't cut, it's a screen.
Little things the guys pick up from studying film.
He doesn't catch you at the knees. He's going to be in the screen pass.
2nd and 5, draw play. Williams, room to run. First down, Dolphins at the 32.
Well, I'll tell you what, Takeo Spikes takes himself out of the play. Rob Conrad really doesn't have to make a big block. He is number 44. All he has to do is turn to the outside, and once he makes that turn, Ricky's up inside. Here it comes. Look at Takeo. 51 goes to the outside. Cobb rides, gets him. Here comes Takeo Spikes. Now watch Rob Conrad. All he had, boom, that little quick outside. Ricky's already gone.
4 carries, 21 yards for Ricky Williams. They got him from New Orleans. It cost him a 1st and a 2nd round draft choice. The way he has played, that's a bargain. This time he's swallowed up. Spikes is there along with London Fletcher.
Talking to Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins, he felt that they had to try and run a little bit at the inside, but he realizes how big Pat Williams and Sam Adams are. It's like 2 very large buildings stuck in the middle of your football field. So look for Ricky to continue to try and hit the perimeters of this Buffalo defense.
Second and 13 for Fiedler. Under pressure from behind, Aaron Schobel with a sack. Got a free run off the outside and made the most of it.
He ran right by Wade Smith, number 74. You want to talk about some speed by Aaron Schobel. Watch this. Bang, he's already by him. And I'm telling you, the quarterback can't do anything because you can't see him.
And I'll tell you something else about Wade Smith. Wade Smith comes out of Memphis. Now, he was a tight end at Memphis, except for the last 2 years in school there. He's only really played tackle. He's a rookie 3rd round pick. He's only played tackle for 2 years. So this is part of the growing pains of a tackle. The problem is the growing pain is on Jay,
right.
not Wade.
He's growing. Fiedler gets the pain.
Boy, Schobel did show some speed.
Coming off the dirt, too. Normally guys have trouble with their feet there.
James McKnight in as an additional wide receiver on 3rd and long. The short pass goes out to Darius Thompson, and he is shoved out of bounds. From here, this would be a 54-yard field goal try for Olindo Mate, who certainly has the leg for it. But Dave Wanstad is going to send out the punting team.
That's right. Make it a long game. You know, I mean, the Dolphins have hung their hat on this defense for so long. It's the strong point of this football team. Everybody concedes that. So now what you do is you pin them back and go play defense and play the field position game.
The only problem is London Murray was kicking 72-yard field goals before the game.
Boy, was he ever.
You know, we may see him at the end like we did Miami and Denver a year ago.
The Bills have taken a timeout on 4th and 14. We'll be back to Miami after this. 7 minutes to go, first quarter from Miami. The Bills and the Dolphins are scoreless. Miami setting up in punt formation. Antonio Brown drops to the 10, but Royals will try to pooch this one. And into the end zone. For a couple of years, Drew Bledsoe had some rocky times before joining the Buffalo Bills. Even with his success there, he has stayed humble.
I love playing the game. I always have. That's why I play. I've never been particularly motivated by proving people wrong or any of that stuff. But I love playing the game, and I love being a part of an excellent team. And I think that's what we are right now.
And Bledsoe's one heck of a quarterback. He stands back in there. He's got the great arm.
The reason they're an excellent football team, because he is a better than excellent quarterback.
Yes, he is.
I have never seen him as relaxed as he is now.
Yeah.
And he has said that himself. I mean, he knows he has a good football team.
Travis Henry, 8 yards deep behind the line of scrimmage. Play action by Bledsoe. Pumps and fires, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sammy Knight, the free agent from New Orleans. Flag is down on the return. Knight inside the 20-yard line, a 32-yard interception return.
They're going to call a clip on Terrell Buckley, but he was what he was trying to do was get out of the way of Knight, and he couldn't get out of the way.
Illegal push in the back.
Yeah, it's going to be on Terrell Buckley. But the interception stands.
And that's why they got Sammy Knight.
Illegal block in the back. Number 27 in the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
This is why they got Sammy Knight. Look at him looking in the backfield. He doesn't bite up on the play action. He sees Bledsoe look over towards Moles and just breaks on the ball. They wanted to add playmaking ability at the safety position. They didn't feel like they got it out of Arturo Freeman last year.
All right, here's the penalty. You see Terrell Buckley, number 27. Not only does he grab and hold on, but he also pushes from the back. And then he says, what'd I do? What'd I do?
39 takeaways since 1997. Second only, or tied most, with Rod Woodson.
He had 5 picks with New Orleans a year ago. His first interception that counts in a Dolphin uniform. And both Bledsoe and Jay Fiedler have been guilty of interceptions here in the first quarter. Williams on the toss. Spikes has him contained, turns it back in, and Schobel makes the tackle. That is the kind of defense Buffalo has played this year.
Well, this is where they show you their speed to the outside. It's very difficult. If you're going to run on these guys, you better run just off the corners of the line. Watch Takeo Spikes, 51. Schobel's 94. He'll come from the inside. But Takeo Spikes forces everything back, and when you force everything back, you go back into your 10 other players.
The other thing about this defense, it isn't just the 7 guys up front that can play defense. The safeties are supporters. Obviously, Lawyer Malloy's been added, but both of these corners are good tacklers as well.
Last 2 carries for Ricky Williams, 7 yards lost. Fiedler to throw against the 4-man rush down the middle. And Darius Thompson, who had 1 catch in 2 games coming in, has 3 grabs tonight for 20 yards.
Darius Thompson made this football team, really replaced Aronde Gadsden. He's 6'2", he's 220. It's his height that gives him the advantage.
Joe, look at the block in the offensive line. They block everybody to the right, and then they give Jay Fiedler that alley to throw the ball down. He sees nothing but blue shirt.
Puts the ball up high enough so that Darius can go get it. Of course, Darius Thompson was in Washington with North Turner, so he knows his receiver.
Ricky Williams. Very patient run, picks up about 3.
No, the Buffalo Bills already have an interception, but think about something. Last year, the Buffalo Bills only took the ball away 19 times.
Only had 10 interceptions.
9 of the times they took the ball away was against this team, out of the 19.
And those 2 games last year, the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins was Ray Lucas.
Exactly.
So we start adding this thing up. What does it tell us?
Nothing.
I know, absolutely nothing.
Tells us nothing.
Ricky again, blitz coming, and they trip him up, and that's Antoine Winfield, 5'9", 180. He will challenge anybody. The kid is a great tackler.
I think this guy is terrific.
Does he remind you of Pat Fisher or what?
You know something? He's got my vote for the Pro Bowl already. I think this guy is so special. He had 4 negative plays against Jacksonville last week, 3 of them on pass plays from the cornerback position. I talked about these corners having the ability to come up and support on the run. That's what's made this defense so much better.
He's the best tackler on the team. Can you believe that? He's the littlest guy out there.
I'd want him.
The best tackler.
3rd and 11. They show blitz, and they come. Fiedler hangs in the pocket for Chambers, just out of his reach.
He'd have never come down in bounds with that ball anyway. They had great coverage downfield. London Fletcher.
Boy, and the crowd is starting to boo because the punting team is coming on again.
No. Orlando's out there. He's going to kick it.
I don't think he wants. I think Dave Wannstedt wants to continue to make this a field position game. If he happens to miss this, okay, that means the Bills get the ball in the best field position they've had all night.
This will be from 51 for Olindo Mare, the second most accurate kicker in the history of the NFL.
Chip shot.
Missed it left. And Joe, back to the point you made, that miss gives the Buffalo Bills excellent field position to start their next drive. Back after this. 0-0, 3:44 to go first quarter, and Buffalo, after the missed field goal, takes over at its own 41. 4 wide receiver set. Henry is the single back. Dolphins jumping all over on defense.
Have Jason Taylor back next to his brother-in-law, Zach Thomas, in the middle of the field.
He's as a linebacker. Then he comes on the blitz. Almost got there. Bledsoe sidearmed it, nearly completed it, but broken up by Zach Thomas. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, we all know the Dolphins defense struggled a bit in the first 2 weeks. Dead last against the pass, but Jason Taylor says, come on, we're 1-1. There's no reason to panic. He said, my barn's not burning. I'm not running around trying to put out a fire. No problem exists. It's just a matter of these guys getting on track, communicating better, tackling better. We should see a difference tonight.
Susie, we're seeing things Miami is doing on defense we have never seen before from these guys. Jumping around in that zone blitz concept. Travis Henry can't get anything as the Dolphins stretch it out. Travis Henry created a controversy this week when he supposedly told ESPN the magazine that there weren't enough carries to go around if Willis McGahee was added to the active roster and they had to share time. He said he didn't say that, but it raised some hackles in Buffalo and causes a problem for head coach like Greg Williams.
And his mama was bad. She also said, you know, she hopes that he's not back there in Buffalo next year.
He hopes he is.
3rd and 9. Bledsoe under pressure, and down he goes. Adewale Ogunleye.
You know, this is what the Miami Dolphins really wanted to do. They wanted to feel that they could get to Bledsoe with just 4 men rushing, and they just did it. And if they can do that, they said we can control this football game.
Let me pronounce his last name again. Ogunleye. I mean, after all, he is Nigerian royalty. He should have his name pronounced correctly.
And you're good at names.
Charlie Rogers. Stuffed as he got back to the 20. 13-yard return after a punt of 52 from Brian Moorman. It's been all defense so far, both teams with an interception. And it's a 0-0 score first quarter. 2:39 to go first quarter from Miami. The Bills and the Dolphins scoreless. Miami takes over from its own 21. It's been a game of field position and defense. Ricky Williams' last 4 carries has lost 8 yards. Gets another crack at it. Cuts to the outside. And taken down at the 29-yard line.
Well, you know, Jeff Posey, you're going to have to learn something, Jeff. When you're playing against Ricky Williams, you got it. When they give you the outside, you stay outside. Look at here. When he gets back to the outside, here's Posey, and he can't get there. I'm telling you, there isn't a guy on this field, on either team, that can tackle him with one arm.
The other thing is, too, is I don't think the Buffalo Bills outside backers, Posey and Spikes, really have a feel for just how quick Ricky Williams is when he turns the corner.
Well, it's just hard to imagine a guy that big and that powerful can be that fast.
Imagine.
Fiedler under pressure, throws to Chambers. He's hit immediately, but it's enough for a first down. Let's go into Susan.
Well, you're talking about Ricky's speed. Since his days at Texas, he was known as a north-south runner. He says after studying himself on film in the offseason in college and in New Orleans, he realized that plowing straight ahead would take years off his career. He dropped the weight, he worked on being more elusive and taking fewer hits, and he realized when he's patient, it allows him the opportunity to see more holes and then accelerate. Combine that with confidence, and he's the total package.
And Susie, the landscape is littered with running backs who were north-south guys. Look at Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell was as good as anybody for the years that he played, but he took such a beating being that kind of a runner that he was gone before we knew it.
You made a great point at our meeting this morning. When you talked about Ricky and you mentioned Earl Campbell, you said, doesn't he remind you? And he is a north-south runner, but as he starts north and south with the patience, you see that same kind of speed to get around.
Right.
And you've always talked about it, Paulo. When you get those shoulders turned upfield, it's like trying to tackle a tank.
2nd and 7 for the Dolphins. Bills show blitz, and they come. Fiedler unloads. Chambers, another first down. Well, they've had the right play calls against the blitz so far.
Jay Fiedler talked about the growth of Chris Chambers. In his rookie season, he really lit it up. Last year, he didn't have a very good year. Now, all of a sudden, he's playing like a Pro Bowler. And you see the kind of catches he's making. He feels like he's a much more knowledgeable wide receiver, and he catches everything. And Jay has a chance to get some feedback from him, too, so they're working real well together.
You notice where Jay throws the ball to him?
High.
To Fiedler? High.
Well, he's got a 45-inch vertical jump. Nobody's going to go up higher than he will. Ricky, stutter step, back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
What is Fletcher?
London Fletcher last year set a franchise record with 209 tackles, most of them just like that. And that is the end of the first quarter. We are scoreless in Miami. The Bills and the Dolphins in a traditional division rivalry. 0-0 as we start the second quarter. Our aerial views, courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. With us tonight, the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. At the controls, Captain Larry Chambers from Lighthouse Point, Florida.
Well, let me just... Buffalo, they don't have the ball at the second down.
Throw some stats at me, Paulo.
Just this one here. Buffalo, no first downs, 1 yard. 1 yard in 7 plays. They've had the ball for 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
Now, Ricky Williams has 11 carries. So Ricky's beating the Buffalo Bills.
And yet the most important stat, 0-0.
That's right.
Second and long for Fiedler. Wants the screen. Has it to Ricky Williams. Ball comes loose as Winfield made the tackle. Buffalo has it. Spikes. Antoine Winfield, the smallest guy on the field, 5'9", 180, comes up, makes the tackle, causes the fumble.
Where do you see Pat Williams? Now, Antoine Winfield makes the play. But Pat Williams, you want to talk about a guy hustling, number 93, down the line of scrimmage, and he literally buries Ricky Williams. Antoine Winfield, number 26, is going to make the play. Here's the screen to the outside. Look at coming down the line of scrimmage. That's Pat Williams that comes down and just drills him right about now.
Ricky gets that, he gets that ball, the elbow away from his body, and he can't protect it. Now, Ricky Williams has put the ball on the ground a lot more than you'd like a running back to do it.
And Spikes is right there, the second turnover for the Dolphins. They come on the blitz. And they give to Sam Gash one of the few times that blocking fullback is ever going to touch the football.
Now there's
he made the Pro Bowl 1 year without any carries at all.
There's a case where Junior Seau, who is a new addition to this Miami defense, comes flying through and ran right by Sam Gash.
12 times in the Pro Bowl, Junior Seau. 2nd and 7. Travis Henry wants to throw. And it's intercepted by Surtain.
What a play by Patrick Surtain.
Well, you know, that was your basic floater.
Well, that was from a running back, too.
Yeah, I know. It's your basic floater.
Oh. He gets the timing of this interception is so good. Watch it. Hands it off to Henry. Fakes like it's a run. Tries to get it up in the air to Josh Reed. Doesn't. Look at him get his head around and make a play. Well, that's why these Dolphin corners go to the Pro Bowl.
And that's why Travis Henry is not going to throw many more passes.
Boy, did you see him keep control of that ball and keep it from going on the ground?
2 turnovers apiece. That one saved a touchdown.
ESPN Sunday Night Football brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 38. MGM's Out of Time, starring Denzel Washington. Toyota, get the feeling. And Bridgestone Tires, advanced technology that gives you a grip on the future.
Well, the Bills go for a gadget play in the red zone, and it blows up in their face. And we're still tied, 0-0. Out of the eye, Ricky Williams. Deep in his own end zone. Will get the carry behind Conrad. Gain maybe a yard.
We talked about the play that Surtain made, but really it's the defensive line. It's the push up front. Watch the push from these guys over on this side. Here you go. You got Mark Campbell, who's the tight end. He gets pushed back. Pasillo gets pushed back. Travis Henry really has no place to throw the football. It's like a quarterback with a bunch of defenders pushed into his face. Couldn't get anything on the ball. That was set up by the push of the defensive end over there.
Ricky just hammers his way out to about the 5.
But when we were at a break, though, Joe made a point that I thought was very interesting. When you run that play as you've got a halfback going to throw the ball, normally the halfback is in a sweep mode. They're going to the outside. This time, Travis Henry goes up towards the line of scrimmage to throw the ball. Now he's cutting down the area in which he can throw the football when you do that.
If you don't get that kind of penetration, it works. But, boy, you just got to sort of take the margin of error and say pitch it back. I'd rather have Drew Bledsoe throwing the football, to be honest with you, down there.
I was
Travis Henry.
just going to say his name keeps moving up the charts in the NFL record book, and you don't give it to him, you give it to Travis Henry to throw it.
And Travis's is moving down.
Yes. Timeout for the Bills. That's their second in this half. Both called on defense. 12:49 to go in a scoreless first half from Miami. The Buffalo Bills have gained 4 yards in the first half. They've had the ball for 9 plays, being totally dominated, and yet it's 0-0, and the Dolphins are pinned back at their own 5. Fiedler from his end zone and throws wide of Darius Thompson. And now Mark Royals will have to kick from under the shadow of his own goalpost.
Michael, you're going to only have a chance to say this once probably in your lifetime. But the leading rusher for the Buffalo Bills tonight so far, and we're in the second quarter.
Who is it?
Sam Gash with 3 yards. 3 yards. The rest of the team, they have 1 yard.
Misprint.
No, it's not. You may not ever say that again.
Antonio Brown won the kick return job in preseason. He has blinding speed from the 49. Brown found a seam down to the 38-yard line, an 11-yard return after a 44-yard punt, and the Bills are back in great shape in Miami territory.
This game has been a series of turnovers, big plays. Jay Fiedler early in this ball game trying to go to Chris Chambers. Nate Clements comes down. Now Bledsoe trying to go to his favorite receiver, Moles. Sammy Knight picks it off. Ricky Williams just gets hit by the all-pro to be Antoine Winfield. And now all of a sudden, Travis Henry, you say? Trying to get the ball to Josh Reed, and Patrick Surtain makes the interception.
You don't say.
I don't think this one will be an option pass. Bledsoe, short set, strike to Moles. Moles breaks the tackle down to the 21. Zach Thomas hanging on.
Well, if you want to get things started, who better to go to than one of the best receivers in the entire National Football League, Eric Moles, and throw a little slant. Look at the size of this guy. That ball is thrown perfectly. That's Junior Seau missing the tackle. Eric Moles picking up an extra couple yards.
Of course, there has been a spat over spitting between Eric Moles and Patrick Surtain. who did what, whether they made up or not at the Pro Bowl, and whether they hung out together in Mississippi or not. Surtain said the latter two did not happen. Mold said it did. I guess we'll never know the truth.
Is that
but they don't like each other.
Is that a he said, he said?
I believe it is.
He said, he said, and then some other guys said.
And then he said it again. The one area that the Dolphins, I think, have struggled the most on defense in their first two ball games of this year has been tackling. Something they're doing a better job of tonight, and they better do it with Travis Henry when he gets down around the goal line, because he's already got 5 rushing touchdowns.
2nd and 7, and they dropped the tight end, Dave Moore, back to a blocking back.
Delay a game. Buffalo.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
And now the Bills are going to contend that they didn't reset the play clock.
Well, I don't think Drew's going to win this argument, so they better get back in the huddle before they restart it again.
4 flags for 20 yards against the Bills so far.
You don't get a 20-second. Oh, look, Drew's trying to get back in the huddle, just ran over the referee.
Well, and he's apologizing to the referee, and the clock's running down.
Play clock's already at 13.
Well, now they moved it back to 25. This is good.
Wait a minute. The play clock's wrong.
Draw play to Henry, and Travis Henry can't get away from Zach Thomas, who tripped him up, and then he's covered by Sammy Knight. What was going on with the play clock?
Are we in Buffalo or Miami?
The play clock was going down to 6, and then it went back to 25. All right, Zach Thomas. We talk about this guy filling. They've taken some burden off the middle away from this guy. Here comes Zach inside. He makes the play. Gets it right down to his feet. You know what, when you really like about the tackle, first of all, he hits Travis Henry high. Then he just slides down his body and makes sure he gets a little piece of the feet.
Guy absolutely loves the game. Now 3rd and long. Blitz coming. Bledsoe unloads to Moulds. Trying to get to the first down, sticks, and he did. What a play by Moulds. He knew exactly where he had to go and weaved his way through traffic.
You know what's amazing about this play? Now, Zach Thomas blitzes, but what happens is when they're covering Eric Moulds across the field, everybody else was facing the end zone. They had their backs to Eric Moulds. Here comes Moulds across the field. Now look at here. Number 24, Sammy Knight. He's the only guy chasing him. Everyone else is facing the other way.
And there's a great block out on the corner. You'll see it. A great job by Josh Reed that allowed him to get the first down.
First down for the Bills. Henry gets a couple to the 8. Ogunleye led the way for the Miami defense.
The Buffalo Bills have not been able to get any type of a running game going other than down around the goal line. I mentioned before Travis Henry with 5 rushing touchdowns, but he merely has 115 yards, averaging 2.4 yards a carry.
And this is a team that committed to the run in the offseason. Right now they rank 25th in the National Football League, 75 yards a game. 2nd and goal from the 8. 4 wide receivers on the field for Bledsoe. Tried to get it to Henry, slipped right through his hands. 3rd and goal.
Boy, what a play by Jay Williams, number 91, the defensive end. You talk about reading the screen, getting down the line of scrimmage. This is a defensive end, number 91. Watch this. Bang, here's the screen. Watch him come here. There he is. The ball is dropped. What a great play.
3rd and goal, a crowd on its feet.
We've seen some great plays by interior linemen. Pat Williams running down Ricky Williams. Now Jay Williams making a play.
Williams.
Bledsoe with all day to throw into the end zone. It's intercepted. Picked off by Brock Marion, who's had 5 picks each of the last 3 years. And another drive goes up in smoke.
Boy, he was going to throw this ball. And I'm telling you, to Eric Moulds, no matter what, look at this. He waited, he looked him down, he looked him down. And then he throws. Brock Marion makes the interception and stops the touchdown drive.
Back in gorgeous Miami on a wonderful September evening. First 2 games of the year, Buffalo was 5 for 5 in touchdowns in the red zone. Tonight, they've been down there twice. They've been intercepted twice. Back to the ground, and Ricky Williams. Boy, Posey did a nice job on the outside, making him cut back.
This interception, there you have Surtain, there you have Moles, that's Brock Marion. What's going to happen is Drew Bledsoe is just going to stare him down. Just stay right on Eric Moles. He drops back, he drops back, he drops back, and then he makes the throw. But I want to show you something. Right there is Travis Henry wide open. And Drew Bledsoe just locked into Eric Moles, and that's where he wanted to go.
Ricky Williams now 14 carries, only 29 yards, catches this ball in the flat. Guess who? Antoine Winfield.
Am I right?
You know, oh, you've been right.
I'm telling you, last week he convinced me he was really special. This week he's convinced me he's better than special.
You know he does. He always has himself in a football position. Watch him get himself ready to make the play. Do all the things you want to do, Ricky, but you're not going to go over top of me, and I'm going to hit you right in the legs. You're going down.
Do you see how he keeps his head up? So many guys that are defensive backs don't want to tackle. They want to block people to the ground. He is a tackler. That's what sets him apart.
3rd and long for Fiedler. McMichael makes his first catch, but it will be short of the first down marker.
Hey, if you're the Miami Dolphins, you have to say to yourself, all right, we'll put our defense back on the field. We've done a good job. We've avoided some major salvos coming at us here.
Royals to punt to Antonio Brown. At one time was timed under 4-2, believe it or not.
Well, he's done the right thing. He's put it on the ground. I wouldn't pick this ball to him.
Brown backs away. This ball will roll and roll and roll near the 25-yard line. 46-yard punt. Good break for Royals and the Dolphins. Jay Fiedler just got off the phone with the coaches upstairs trying to get some help with the offense. The numbers on Drew Bledsoe. In trouble, and down he goes.
Boy, he tried to fake, and Tim Bowens never took it.
Tim Bowens gets the sack. The first 5 possessions for the Buffalo Bills, look at this. The longest was 7 plays. 3-1, 3-2, 7.
Now, what even makes this more special for the Miami defense is Buffalo's average starting field position before this drive was their own 43-yard line.
Joe Burns, number 35, is in as the running back, and he'll get the draw. Shakes a tackle. Burns out to the 25-yard line. The second-year player from Georgia Tech trying to give Travis Henry a breather. Sammy Morris is out tonight. He is usually the 3rd down back, and they don't want Henry in there all the time. And now a lot of pushing and shoving after the play.
You know what? I like the job this officiating crew is doing tonight. They're letting the guys go at it a little bit. They're not throwing flags when somebody throws an arm up. They're doing an excellent job. They're controlling it, but they're still letting them play. We've talked a lot about Buffalo's 2 interior guys, Adams and Williams, but Chester and Bowens aren't exactly small. Both of them go about 325, 330.
And both very good run stoppers. 3rd and 10.
Oh, there's a takedown.
Incomplete off the fingertips of Bobby Shaw. Jason Taylor was on his way to a sack, and he was just swallowed up.
Jonas Jennings, the left tackle, all he did, you know what Jonas Jennings did? He saved Drew Bledsoe's life.
Yep.
Watch this. Here's Jason Taylor. He's gone. He's by now, and he just hauls him down, and that's what they called. He would have nailed Drew Bledsoe.
He almost got him anyway.
How strong is he for a guy 255 going up against Jonas Jennings at 325?
How quick is he?
I mean, everybody underestimates his power.
Just remember one thing, his barn isn't burning. That's what he told us. Told Susie that too. He didn't put water on his barn.
Mormon to punt. Charlie Rogers waits inside his own 30.
Oh,
beautiful kick. Holy cow. Rogers all the way back to the 13. And pushed out of bounds near the 25-yard line. The report on Travis Henry, he has been taken to the locker room. We're trying to get more information. Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, the best place to get ready for Monday Night Football. Then on ABC at 9, the Monday night game, Rich Gannon and the Raiders against Clinton Portis and the Denver Broncos.
The thing about Travis Henry going to the locker room, they came in here tonight without Sammy Morris. Joe Burns was the only backup to Travis Henry. Sam Gash and Phil Crosby are the fullbacks. So now, if Travis Henry is in the locker room, they only have one running back.
And, of course, their leading rusher, Sam Gash.
Yeah.
Keep saying it, Joe, because it won't be for long.
Out of the eye this time. Fiedler steps up, takes off. Pat Williams is there as he got to the 29. Takeo Spikes, wired on Sunday Night Football. Let's listen in.
That's what we call making play.
Damn right.
That's what we call making play.
It ain't hot enough.
It ain't hot enough. So what we do?
Make it hot.
Turn the heat up.
110.
How many?
He is psyched, isn't he?
He and London Fletcher carry on quite a conversation.
Well, they're joined at the hip, those two guys. I mean, it's unbelievable.
2nd and 5. Fiedler throws, nobody home. The Bills knew they had a problem on defense last year. They went out and got players who can play to fill spots. Sam Adams, the run stopper inside. Kelsey, a 2nd-round draft choice. Spikes, a tremendous free agent from Cincinnati. Posey, who can really run at the other linebacker. And Lawyer Malloy, the great leader and the 4-time Pro Bowler at strong safety from New England.
This division is shaping up to be Miami, Buffalo, and New England. The Jets struggling miserably. Herm Edwards can't find the right solution there. But those other three teams all in neck and neck.
3rd and 5. Fiedler short set underneath. This one is complete to McMichael, the tight end, and Spikes wrestled with him trying to get the ball.
Well, you talk about your mismatches, and this is what they wanted to do, is get Randy McMichael on Takeo Spikes one-on-one, number 51. Here they are. Watch Randy McMichael. You see the opening, sits down, the ball is thrown perfectly. All they wanted to do was to pick up a first down. Here's Takeo Spikes. He's going to back off, back off, back off. You turn, you got your first down, you know where that is, and you pick up the first down.
A scoreless duel in Miami. Ricky Williams, who's been shut down since a quick start, takes it to the 42. Pat Williams.
Slow down. Let's slow him down. Really shut him down. You know, once you think you've got him shut down, Michael, that's when he'll rip you.
And he'll go for 50.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just so impressed with how patient he is when he gets the ball in his hand. He takes little baby steps and glides along, and then all of a sudden, whoop.
You know, that didn't look like much, Joe, but it was 4 yards.
In the dirt.
That's where football is really played now, in the dirt.
Or on rubber grass.
Play action. Fiedler with time, and there should be a flag on that one, and there is. Chambers was open.
Lawyer Malloy was trying to go for the ball, but he had to go through the player, and there was nothing he can do because he got caught up in space. With Lawyer Malloy back all the way, he's got Chambers. Look at this. He sees the ball coming. He's going up for the ball for the interception, and he just runs right through the receiver, and you can't do that.
And the Dolphins have reached the 34.
Whoa. 2:53 to go in the half.
Boy, this thing is flown by. Draw play, Ricky. Stop just shy of the 30. Let's check in with Susie.
Well, Mike, talk about being a natural. It's amazing how fast Lawyer Milloy has picked up this defense. He says some people pick up math. He picks up football. Spikes marvels that Milloy picked up the base D in 45 minutes. He's like a coach out there. And the Bills are doing things that Milloy never did in New England. He challenges the coaches. He wants them to constantly give him more.
The other thing, Susie, they didn't change the defense from week to week, and he said, this is amazing. We never did this in New England. Fiedler, good protection. Flag is down. Holding Williams, taken out of bounds. Good tackle by Jeff Posey. Now we'll check the marker.
It's going to be a hands to the face against the Buffalo Bills. It is not going to be holding against Miami. My eyes tell me that.
And so does your heart.
Well, no, actually, I saw the official signal, too. I have to give it up.
Honesty's the best policy.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 97 on the defense. A 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Justin Bannon, the second-year tackle out of Colorado.
Greg Williams can't believe it. Of course, this is the end of the play where Ricky gets run out of bounds. Now, keep in mind, everybody looks at running backs, stick their hands into the faces of people. Running backs can use their straight arm and actually hit the... I've never seen a face mask penalty called against the runner.
And Posey got a handful of dreadlocks on that tackle. That's why Ricky lurched when he was taken out of bounds. We have reached the 2-minute warning. The Dolphins have the ball at the 25-yard line. 2 minutes to go, first half of play, and Miami has the ball first and 10 at the 25. Is either team going to get out of this rut that they can't score?
Well, Miami's done what they wanted to do on defense coming in this ball game. But what they have to do now, and I don't care if it's only 3, they've got to put points on the board now.
I think they have to protect the ball. And the other thing is you don't want to leave too much time, maybe and get too quick a score so that Drew Bledsoe can take it down the field, even though Buffalo only still has 1 timeout left.
Williams on the draw. Slips 1 tackle. Fighting for extra yardage inside the 20. The play before the timeout, he was actually grabbed by his dreadlocks as he went out of bounds. That's the second time in 2 weeks. He has been tackled by the hair streaming out from under his helmet.
Right.
Now, Sampson cut his hair and lost all his strength. What's Ricky going to do?
Well, he didn't have him last year, and he only rushed for 118 yards, so I think he's okay. 1,800, I'm sorry. 1,800 yards. Ray Buchanan, who plays corner, has his dreads hanging out of the helmet, and he doesn't get yanked around. Ricky's got to stop and think about it. People keep pulling on his hair.
2nd and 3. Fiedler, pump fake to the end zone, wide open and incomplete.
Oh, Darius Thompson just jumped too quick, and he didn't have to jump.
And there's a flag on the play that if they're going to call anything, I would think it would be holding.
Well, it's going to be defensive holding, but when you
Nate
get a
Clemens.
receiver open, you want the touchdown. You don't want the penalty. Oh, talk about mistiming your jump.
Thompson went up in the air, couldn't stay there as long as the ball.
Jay Fiedler with a pump fake. Watch this now. Thompson, instead of just running for the football, Jay's going to drop it right in his lap. He tries to jump, but he really doesn't. He sort of lays out instead of jumping up in the air, and then winds up getting himself landed on and probably hurt a little bit.
If he just takes 2 more steps, he catches it in stride, and it's a touchdown.
Just keep running.
The penalty is an automatic first down with 1:10 left. Blitz coming. Draw play to Williams. Tackled inbounds at the 12.
Well, you want to talk about some hustle. Lawyer Milloy was coming on a blitz from the outside, and he runs him down. Watch Lawyer Milloy. You talk about no quit. Look at here. Here he comes behind. 36, and now, bam. He hits Ricky from behind, and your favorite guy, Anton Winfield, is there.
Greg Williams, the coach of the Bills, talked about his instinctiveness, and when he makes a commitment to go, he goes. He doesn't hesitate. That's something that impressed him.
Clock's running down to 33. Fiedler for the end zone. Touchdown, Chambers.
Boy, was that a great throw.
Jay Fiedler with his 5th touchdown pass of the season and the 3rd scoring strike to Chambers.
Well, I'll tell you, that ball couldn't have been thrown any better. It was absolutely perfect.
What a terrific move by Chambers, too. A little double fake. He froze Clemens. Bang.
Mate for the point after.
Oh! What a job he does. What a job by Chris Chambers. Nate Clemens is right there. Chris Chambers is right there. You're going to see Chambers come on down here, run a little hesitation, and then fire it up. And then you're going to see Jay Fiedler rocket that ball exactly where he wants it. But this is set up by the receiver. Watch the hesitation. A double move. Give yourself a little space to the inside. Keep yourself away from that inside safety and let Jay he cuts this loose. I mean, he just flies it in there. Oh, boy.
You know, people really underrate his athletic ability. When he was in college, he competed in the decathlon. You have to be a heck of an athlete to do that.
I think they underrate him as a quarterback.
I do, too.
I think he can be a top 6, top 7 quarterback in this league.
You know the thing about him, though, and all the time we talk to him, nothing bothers him. You know, he knows that people don't think of him as a great quarterback. He knows that he's in the shadow of Dan Marino and always will be, unless he does something extra spectacular. But this guy, there's not a whole lot bothers him.
Takeo Spike spending a lot of time on the field, as well as the entire Buffalo defense.
Brown and McGee are deep. Low line drive kick. McGee picks it up at the 6. Coming up on the Kia halftime show, Chris Berman with the fastest 3 minutes in television. All the highlights of all the games. Boomer's halftime heroes and the hunt for October as we come down to the wire in Major League Baseball.
You know, Boomer's got himself a real tough. Boom, you've got a real tough task. You've got to figure out who the heroes are. Every week, there's a litany of it. I mean, Priest Holmes again has a great game in Kansas City. Trent Green, their quarterback, playing lights out. Patrick Ramsey, even though they lost.
Hey, don't give him any hits. He doesn't need your help.
I'm just helping him.
Joe Burns is the running back. Remember, Travis Henry left the field earlier to go to the locker room. Still waiting on a report about any possible injury. And the Bills will be conservative and take a knee and go to the locker room down 7-0 in a real defensive struggle in the first half. Let's go to Susie. She has Greg Williams.
Greg, your starting running back went into the locker room in the second quarter, Travis Henry. What's the injury?
Right now, he's got a rib injury. We're going to evaluate him and get in. I haven't talked with the rest of the people. We were too busy trying to keep those guys out of the end zone. I'll take a look at him once I get inside.
The game's been about penalties and turnovers. How can you correct those things?
Well, I'll tell you what, both defenses are playing lights out. It's been a slugfest this whole first half. I don't think 7 points will win it. We got to come out and win this second half, and I think we can go away from the win. But we got to play better in the second half, and we got to capitalize on the turnovers that we get. We got to protect the ball. We can't give the ball up the way we've given it up.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Our score here at Pro Players Stadium, 7-0. Dolphins over the Bills. Now let's join. It's been a frustrating night for Drew Bledsoe and the Buffalo offense. They just can't get anything going. Ricky Williams trying to pound it for the Dolphins, but he's been shut down. And Chris Chambers gets the only score of the half on a bullet from Jay Fiedler. And as we go to the third quarter, 7-0 Dolphins. It has been a brilliant offensive show for neither team. Defenses have dominated this thing.
Worked your way around.
Yes, I did. What happens in the second half? What are you looking for?
I think the Buffalo Bills are going to get a very strong dose of Ricky Williams at one more time. Until they really prove that they can stop him cold, they're going to keep seeing him.
And they better be careful because North Turner will have some play action hoping that Buffalo will do that. I think offensively, the Buffalo Bills have got to go out and basically stop shooting themselves in the foot. It's not that they haven't had opportunities. I don't think that they have to try and run the football. I believe that they can go out and throw the football effectively and get it done.
Brown on the return for the Bills, trying to get outside, taking down at the 21. Susie had a chance to catch up with Dave Wannstedt before the half started.
Dave, Jason Taylor said the key would be hit Drew early, make him uncomfortable. How has your defense turned the corner here?
Well, you know, we knew we were capable of playing good against an outstanding football team, and we know we got a tough 30 minutes. I mean, it's a nothing ball game, and we got to keep the same type of intensity and focus up the second half. I mean, it's going to be a very difficult 30 minutes, and our guys are getting ready for it.
Thanks, Dave.
Sure.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Dave. 1st and 10, Buffalo. Bledsoe has it complete to Bobby Shaw out across the 30. Shaw with his 7th catch of the season.
See, just because you don't have Travis Henry, if you're the Buffalo Bills, means you abandon running the football completely. I think what you do, though, is you put the ball probably 75% of the time in Drew Bledsoe's hand, and you use Joe Burns just to keep that Dolphin defense honest.
Travis Henry has a rib injury. How severe, we do not know as yet. Burns crossed the 35, taken down by Moreland Greenwood.
Drew Bledsoe has had his struggles this evening. Sets in the pocket, getting a lot of pressure. Ogunleye making the sack. Now pumps again. Then you see Bowens put him on the ground. He has not been comfortable. Then Sammy Knight comes up and makes the big play. Now he just locks in on Eric Moulds and is mad as can be at himself when Brock Marion makes the pick.
But maybe the biggest play of the half was the halfback option pass that Travis Henry threw for an interception into the end zone.
Boy. How about
that? Hey, you said something about shooting yourself in the foot. You're throwing it to the best receiver out there, and he drops the ball. Eric Moulds.
You can see on this play how Eric Moulds never looks at the ball. He wants to see where Patrick Surtain is and just loses focus of it, hits him in the belly, and winds up on the ground.
Now it's 3rd and 5 from the 37. The numbers on the quarterbacks, neither impressive against stout defenses. Bledsoe with a lot of time, throws, and Moulds can't get this one either.
Well, there was some pushing and shoving on the outside between Patrick Surtain and Eric Moulds.
And Surtain was rubbing it in.
I mean, you got to know that they're talking to each other. There's been a lot. Here they go. Number 23 is Surtain. Number 80 is Eric Moulds. Look at this. Out, out.
Well, that's a good job by Surtain. What he did is he forced Moulds out of the route that he wanted to run and made him go upfield.
Mormon to kick to Rodgers. Oh, nice bounce. And Rodgers fields it inside the 5. Big mistake for Charlie Rodgers. Had to chase a 59-yard kick all the way to the 5-yard line and the sideline, and then he picked it up. Dominique Stevenson downfield to make the tackle. Terrible field position for Miami in their first try in the 3rd quarter.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 38. Porsche, for the pure sport of driving. And Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold, down, easy.
Our aerial shots tonight courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and its fleet of airships. Tonight, Stars and Stripes providing these great shots high above Miami on a beautiful September evening. First down, Ricky Williams. Room to run. Lawyer Malloy drags him down at the 14.
Susie pointed out something about Ricky being a lot lighter. And I really feel like playing here in South Florida in the second half of games is really when Ricky can take over a game for you. You look at his patience. See how he lets everything happen, now explodes through the hole. Good job by Rob Conrad, giving him a little bit of a crease, and then he takes off. But he being lighter allows him to be able to go 60 minutes.
Game 7 has 52 for the night. And has a first down out to the 19-yard line, so some breathing room for the Dolphins.
You know, first of all, I don't understand this defense I just saw by the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they've got an end that's way out, a tackle that's way in, and 2 linebackers that are off about 7 yards. There is a natural hole. Look at the natural hole to the left-hand side. Conrad has to run 4 yards before he can make a block, and Ricky's got the first down before anybody even touches him.
Fiedler throws the out to Chambers, and he makes the catch in front of Winfield on the ground at the 27.
What the Miami Dolphins are doing by being able to run the ball as effectively as they are on the early downs and then making a throw when they want is, you notice there isn't as much pressure on Jay Fiedler as there was early in the game. Hey, Paulie, I mean, Adams and Williams, they got to be getting a little tired.
They've been out there for an awful long time. And, you know, in this defense, or offense of the Bills, they're going like 3 and out, 2 and out.
Time of possession in the first half was 20 minutes for Miami, 10 minutes for the Bills.
Williams runs right into Aaron Schobel. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, we know Jay Fiedler has dealt with more than his share of heat here in Miami. He's resilient, and he refuses to compromise his style, that go-for-it style. He's not afraid of making mistakes. He says it's a lifetime of football-building confidence. You have to keep attacking. Once you're hesitant, that's when the mistakes come. So you have to be aggressive, be smart. Knowledge is confidence. He's been around long enough to see just about everything a defense can give him.
Susie, I've always said the worst thing about Jay Fiedler is he's not Dan Marino, but then no one else ever was either. He is a very efficient quarterback. Williams on 3rd and 1. That'll be a first down out to the 31. Takeo Spikes slams into the ground. And we have Takeo Spikes wired for Sunday night.
Hey, it ain't 110 degrees in the temperature out
It
here.
ain't 110.
So you know what?
You easily win.
Me and my dudes gonna make it 110. You feel it, don't you? Yeah, baby. Huh? Yeah. That's gonna be your whole game, baby. That's gonna be your whole game.
Make it hot.
Turn the heat up.
110.
How many degrees?
It's hot.
110.
And going up. You and I sound like things you got.
Ricky Williams again, as the Bills are getting a steady dose of last year's NFL rushing champion.
Well, you know, and there's just no reason not to keep running Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams is in such great shape. Again, he lost a lot of weight. But you look at him right now. He's not puffing. He doesn't look tired. He's quick getting into the hole. He's doing all the things they want to do. They'll take a hard look at him once he gets tired. And if he gets tired, they'll take him out and give him a little rest.
You run the ball effectively enough, a big opportunity for a play-action pass presents itself as you reach this point of the field.
They have run their big tailback 5 of 6 plays on this drive. Fiedler to throw. Straight down the middle. Chambers can't get it. Just out of his reach. And boy, he beat Antoine Winfield that time.
Dave Wanstadt made a great point to us. He said, because of the style of our offense, Jay Fiedler is not going to have those big play opportunities like a Drew Bledsoe does, throwing the ball 40, 45 times a game. But when he gets them, he's going to have to hit them for us. This is one that got away from him. Chambers is running open, makes a gallant effort to try and make the play, but just off his hands. Jay Fiedler had that one get away from him.
Boy, he hits him in stride. That's an easy touchdown. 3rd and 7. And they'll whistle this play dead before it starts.
And that's going to be Chris Chambers on the outside with just a little bit of a flinch. They went from a potential touchdown to a 5-yard penalty.
Offense 84. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
All right, you got momentum. You're Dolphins. You have momentum. Don't do anything stupid to turn it around. Now in Buffalo here, you're saying to yourself, let's make a play. We've got them. Let's make a play.
They got 13 yards to go. Let's keep them to at least 11, and that's it. 12? Yeah, get 12 if you want.
Three receivers bunched to the near side, one to the far side. Pressure coming on Fiedler, but he gets it away. And that's going to be a first down, a strike to James McKnight, only his second catch of the year. It's a gain of 18.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Jay Fiedler really shows me something. Ricky Williams actually misses his block on the outside. On the right-hand side, he's going to miss his block. Well, look at Jay Fiedler. Just step up, find the open man, and make the throw.
But you know what Ricky does? He doesn't quit on the block. He missed Lawyer Malloy, but he just got a piece of him enough to be able to give Jay enough time.
14th first down of the game for the Dolphins. The Bills have been held to 3. We're in the third quarter. Back to Williams on first down, moving the pile to midfield.
I felt like coming into today's ball game with the Bills playing the way they were and the Dolphins struggling in the first game, this was going to be a watershed game for Dave Wannstedt. There's been a lot of heat on him after the first game. They come out, win this football game here at home against an arch rival like the Bills. It says a lot about his ability to do the things he can do as a coach. Same thing applies to Jay Fiedler. He's on a national stage. People don't really know how good he is. He's showing tonight he's one of the better in the league.
Out of the eye this time. Fiedler play action down the middle, and McMichael makes the catch, breaks the tackle down to the 17-yard line. Man. What a great target he is at 6'3", 250.
Man, I'll tell you what, folks, you're going to see a great catch.
And a great throw.
Oh, yeah, this is absolutely perfect. And you talk about total concentration. Here he comes right into your living room. Look at this throw. Look at this concentration. I mean, that is an outstanding catch.
We're halfway through the third quarter, and the Bills have had 3 plays.
Amazing.
And the Dolphins have taken this from their own 5.
And in a game like this, 10 points would be huge, even if they just get a field goal out of this drive. Ricky wants more than that. He's down to the 10.
I think this is an area of the football field where Ricky has to protect the ball.
Joe, you look at this defensive line. They are really sucking air. Look at Ricky. I mean, there's the guys that are hesitant now, and he's taking advantage. He's getting better. He's getting quicker, not faster. He's getting quicker, and his defensive line, they're not getting off the ball into the offensive linemen. They're tired, man.
Carried the ball 34 times last week for 125 yards. He's working on the same kind of pace in this one.
25 so far tonight. He defines workhorse. Williams again. Maybe a yard. This defense has got to be tired. The offense has so few plays in the entire game. They've been out there forever. No matter how well you play, at some point you just wear out, and Takeo Spikes is the injured Buffalo Bill. And you hate to see that. We've got an injury timeout on the field. Back in a moment. Hispanic Heritage Month is underway. The NFL is saluting its Hispanic fans, players, and coaches around the league in a variety of ways. Tonight, the Miami Dolphins presented a festive halftime program featuring 120 salsa dancers, 250 local fifth graders with flags from 20 Hispanic countries, and a musical tribute to legendary Latin recording artist Celia Cruz. It was Celebremos tu Cultura.
¿Qué pasa?
Whoa.
That's 4 years of Spanish lessons, folks.
Cerveza. Oh, I'm sorry.
I had 8 years of Spanish, C.
Here's what happened to Takeo Spikes. He was able to go off the field in under his own power. He was poked in the eye by a teammate. We'll check on him.
He got poked by Deshaun Polk.
And they're checking out his left eye right now. What I admired so much about him in Cincinnati, game would be 38-6 in the fourth quarter. It was over, and he still played like it was a tie game in the last minute of the Super Bowl. This drive has already gone 7 minutes, 17 seconds, and 85 yards. Fiedler to the end zone. Incomplete. That may have been tipped by Winfield.
And really, with that injury to Takeo, Buffalo gets a little bit of a chance to have a breather for the guys up front. And Jay Fiedler trying to take advantage of a height mismatch. Thompson on Winfield didn't work out.
Mate is on for a field goal. He was wide left on his only other try tonight from 51 yards. This is from 26. And Fiedler is true from short range. Or Mate is true from short range. And it is a 10-0 Dolphin lead. The Dolphins have what amounts to a big lead now in a tight ball game. They're up 10-0 with 5:40 to go third quarter, because New England has shown no signs of scoring. The drives, the last two, or Buffalo, 22 for 132 yards. So the Dolphin offense has come alive, and a great kickoff by Mate. And the Bills will have to start from their own 20-yard line. Drew Bledsoe trying to find out what might work. .540 to go third quarter. Dolphins over the Bills. 10-0 in Miami. And Drew Bledsoe has had a terrible night so far. Joe Burns, the running back, slips a tackle, gets out to the 23. That's 6 carries for Burns. Travis Henry, who is injured, a rib injury. That's as specific as they have been so far. He has not returned. Bledsoe, 4 out of 12, 42 yards and 2 picks. That looks like first quarter numbers. We're nearing the fourth quarter.
And the 2 picks don't look like Drew Bledsoe numbers.
No.
Not this year.
Only had 1 coming in, and the second highest passer rating in the NFL. Miami has been superb on defense. They show blitz, and here they come. And Bledsoe unloads and has a first down out to the 35-yard line. Good throw that time to Josh Reed.
And this is something the Buffalo Bills need to do. They need to run a little bit. The game's certainly not out of hand when you've got Drew Bledsoe with 4 minutes to go in the third. They need to run a little bit and pick up some first downs and give that defense a chance to catch its breath.
It's been amazing tonight. They've had 8 drives, 24 plays. They're averaging only 3 plays a drive. It's produced no points. Bledsoe with time, throws high, intended for Burns. He was well covered by Zach Thomas.
Oh, and Junior Seau is just absolutely angry as all get out at himself. Bledsoe almost throws this one to Junior. There he is dropping in coverage, which is unusual for him. And then he gets to see it late. This is the biggest adjustment that Junior Seau has to make. What are you laughing at?
I was just looking at Junior. He wasn't even thinking about interception. All he wanted to do was kill Burns.
Hit somebody.
He wanted to hit Burns.
Blitz, Burns on the draw. Jason Taylor was waiting for him at the 38-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, you got to. Now, there's a defensive call that you really have to like. It's 2nd down and 10. They run a massive blitz, and everybody has a gap. But the first thing you do on your way to Bledsoe is make sure that you get the runner as he's coming through. And that's exactly what they did. They only got a 3-yard gain on the play.
Now, we talked about Miami playing a little bit more zone. I don't think you can back off and not put pressure on Drew Bledsoe, or he'll pick up the first down. You've got to go after him.
3rd and 7. Bad snap. Bledsoe throws on the run. That's complete, but it's going to be short of the first down as Bobby Shaw made the catch. Terrell Buckley
What a great heads-up play by Drew Bledsoe. I mean, this thing could have been total disaster. And what happened is the offensive line just gathered everybody on the defense in the middle of the field so Bledsoe could get to the outside and throw it. Watch this. There's no penetration, really. The ball goes down. Everybody's in the middle. Bledsoe gets to the outside and gets the ball off.
And I don't think that's Trey Teague's fault. Now, he has struggled with the shotgun snaps. I think Drew just took his eye off that one. Came back a little hard.
Came right off his left elbow. Mormon, another great punt, and Charlie Rogers will let this one go. And that looked like it made the end zone. And it did. A 50-yard punt, a 49-yarder would have been perfect. Bledsoe and Ricky Williams. The matchup has favored the Dolphins so far. Welcome back to Miami Pro Players Stadium, where the Dolphins have a 10-0 lead over the Bills with 2:49 to go third quarter. Ricky Williams, the workhorse again tonight. And back to the ground game, and Ricky finds a hole up the middle, picks up 5, maybe 6. Pat Williams with the tackle. The numbers starting to mount for the guys who moved the Dolphin offense. Jay Fiedler, very efficient as usual. Ricky Williams, 26 for 75. And Chambers, 4 catches, 40 yards, and the only touchdown.
You talk about going at the heart of the lion. The Buffalo Bills brought in Sam Adams because they wanted to improve their run defense. They were 29th last year. Ricky's managed 26 rushes for 75 yards before that carry. And they're going right at the middle of this defense.
2nd and 4 for Miami. They need to reach the 30 for the first down, and Ricky is going to be first in line for the hot tub when this is over.
I'll tell you what, you know, when we were at a break, we were talking about the offensive line of Miami Dolphins, and they had to move out these big guys. And you say, well, okay, you got Sam Adams and Pat Williams, they're each weigh over 300 pounds, and they're wearing down. How about these guys up in the middle? Jamie Nails, Ruddy, Perry, Wade, and Smith. I mean, these guys are doing a terrific job at the line of scrimmage. But again, those big guys are tired.
Third and a long one for Miami. Play action, Fiedler. And throws too high. Tried to cross him up with a fake on 3rd and a long one, and now they'll have to punt.
I think if he'd have just taken off and run as soon as he started to move, he takes off and runs, he's got the first down.
I agree.
I mean, I can tell you from we can sit up here and see different things. Jay's trying to make the play down the field, but try and pick up the first down.
Antonio Brown waits back at his 25. Nice punt from Royals. Brown trying to get to the outside with that great speed and gets it back near the 37-yard return after a 49-yard punt. Next Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern, watch NFL Primetime and get caught up on all the day's action. Then Peyton Manning and the undefeated Colts go to New Orleans to take on Aaron Brooks and the Saints on ESPN Sunday Night Football at 8:30. And Peyton hitting almost 2/3 of his passes for 2 touchdowns and an interception today against the Jaguars.
Peyton is finding some new receivers.
Yes. Reggie Wayne played very well today.
Yes, he did.
And the New Orleans Saints hopefully will get some of their defensive starters who were hurt back for next week's game.
Burns continues at the running back spot, and he'll get the carry. Boy, have the Dolphins been sensational on defense. That was Zach Thomas. He and Jr. got there.
Yeah, we got 2 linebackers moving. We're talking about the linebackers on the other side of the field, but take a look at the Miami linebackers. 55 is Junior Seau. 54 is Zach Thomas. Look at these two. They're there at the same time. Here comes Zach. He reads guard, slides down the line of scrimmage. He's got the ball carrier. Watch him square up now, and then wham! That's how you play linebacker.
Boy, he can run, and so can Junior on that weak side. Bledsoe on 2nd and 10 floats it down the sideline and incomplete, intended for Shaw. Let's go to Susie.
Mike, a lot of people know that Zach Thomas always looked up to Junior Seau in college. Zach actually had a poster, a signed poster on the wall, but since they've been teammates, Zach says that Junior brings energy from the film room to the field. You can feel it. Junior also sees things on the field that Zach never saw. It's really helped him in his game. And guys, it's pretty funny. The guys are still razzing Zach that he still has the poster up, that it's still above his bed. Not really. It's in his parents' garage.
Susie, it's hard to find two guys who love the game any more than those guys. Bledsoe under pressure, and down he goes at the 25.
Junior Seau. I'll tell you what, this guy reads things and he goes, and you got Junior Seau, number 55, on a blitz. Watch this. They had really no chance of blocking him. Silo really never touched him. That's number 61 is the guard. He misses him. Junior Seau makes his sack.
And Bledsoe is very fortunate he was able to maintain control of the ball, because that's the first thing that Junior went for. We have played 3 quarters. The Bills have been totally shut down by the Dolphins. Experience football like never before in high definition on ESPN HD. College football Saturday primetime, Sunday night football, Monday night football on ABC HD. The best football 3 nights in a row in high definition. ESPN HD now available nationwide. The Bills' ground game has produced 27 yards tonight. Rodgers deep for the punt, and not a good one, out of bounds near the 40-yard line.
Ricky Williams has been the workhorse for the Miami Dolphins, and they continue to go at him. But it's interesting, 19 carries up the middle, 4 to the outside on the left, 4 to the outside on the right. Now, you would think that would be completely opposite with the girth that this Buffalo Bill defense has. Paul, you mentioned it. Tim Ruddy, Jamie Nails, Todd Perry, their center and 2 guards have really done a terrific job of creating lanes for Ricky to be able to run.
This ball actually went out on the 44-yard line.
31-yard punt.
Now,
he's only averaging 3 yards a carry, so that defensive line hasn't done that bad a job.
This might be a great opportunity to take a big shot down the field, too. Good field position to do it.
Takeo Spikes is back into the ballgame after suffering an eye injury. Williams on a draw back to Fiedler. Under pressure, throws, and it's intercepted. Winfield recovers the fumble. Pearson Prelo with the interception on the trick play. Now they're saying incomplete.
Boy, did they dodge. You want to talk about dodging a bullet?
You could see a challenge here now. Prelo is going to Greg Williams. Throw it out, challenge it.
Boy, that looked like a catch.
The official has a very good view on the side, has a very good view.
You know what the coach is saying? We can't challenge it. You cannot challenge this play. They blow the ball dead and they call it an incomplete pass. You can't challenge it, folks. Here it is. Now, he doesesn't have, does he have control?
I don't, you know,
Wait, Joe.
No, I'm just saying. It's not reviewable. I agree, but I don't know whether he has control or not.
Well, that's the question. And I'll tell you the other thing is he should have never thrown this football.
Right.
Now, here he is. He's moving the ball over. The ball, well, now.
See,
that's a catch.
You know, yeah, but now it's a moot point because the Dolphins ran the football quickly.
See, Joe did the old yabbit. Yabbit.
Every other game I go yabbit.
All right, here it comes again. Here's the throw. Now, does he have control of the football as he put the ball away, and is the ball in a football position to run?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is an interception. Yep. Now, it is not an interception because they didn't call it one.
Boy, what a big break for the Dolphins.
But it was a good yabbit.
It was a yabbit.
3rd and 4. Bills show blitz, and here they come. Fiedler unloads. This one's intercepted. Nate Clements. Touchdown.
And this is all James McKnight. Jay Fiedler will get the blame, but this is on the wide receiver. He got lazy with his head, and he didn't make a play. This is all on number 80's shoulders.
54-yard return for Nate Clements.
You'll see it out to the left, number 80. Doesn't even get his head around. Just sort of lollygagging out to the left. Didn't even look for the ball, but Nate Clements was looking.
Joe, it's happened to you. It's happened to every quarterback who's ever played. If the receiver doesn't recognize the blitz, you're in trouble.
Well, that's one of it. But the other part is people are going to say, why don't you just run the football? I like taking shots. You know, and Jake Fiedler did what he needed to do on third down to try and make a play. But you've got to have help from your teammates. Can't do this alone.
So Buffalo's offense still hasn't scored, but now they're back in the ball game.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. ESPN Video Games and The Rundown. Cut to the chase Friday.
Miami, Florida, and the mood of this crowd has really changed because of Nate Clements, a 54-yard interception return for the Bills' only score of the ball game. And Clements seems to save his best for the Dolphins. Half of his career interceptions have come against Miami. 2 tonight, and that one was huge. Charlie Rogers on the return out to the 23, taken down there.
Is this an interesting, you know, the stats sometimes just boggle your mind. The Bills offense, they have 71 yards and no points. The Bills defense, on the other hand, they have 54 yards and 7 points.
I think Jay Fiedler would have been happy to let Preston Prelo have the other interception, as opposed to the one that Nate Clements came up with.
Well, you've got to hand it to Greg Williams. He understood the rule perfectly. Once the ball hits the ground, it's been ruled incomplete. It is not reviewable. He told everybody who came off the field, I can't challenge this.
$1 to a donut. Ricky gets this one.
You know, you're really good.
Williams hitting the backfield, shakes one tackle, then stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
That was big old Sam Adams getting it. You know, once you let somebody in the door, like the Buffalo Bills, they were down 10-0, and they're looking, you know, we can't do anything. We haven't moved the ball. We haven't done a thing. Interception, touchdown. Now look at these big guys on the defensive line. You're not going to stop Sam Adams now.
They didn't come through the door. They blew it off the hinges.
That's right.
Greg Williams knows. He just knows it's going to be this kind of a game between these two teams.
And they would love to have a 3-and-out so they can get to the sideline and rest. They've been out there most of the night. Draw play, Williams. Got it back to the 27. Let's check in with Susie Colbert.
Well, if you're wondering how a team with 5 new defensive starters have gelled so well, Takeo Spikes insists it's not by accident. It's chemistry and work ethic. Through the winter and the spring, the guys were already showing up, working together, and it didn't take pulling teeth to get them there. The fact that there's not a lot to do in Buffalo worked to their advantage. Instead of spending time with family, they hung together. You know, Monday was bowling, Tuesday was pool. They developed a bond, a respect. They know what makes each other tick.
And Susie, they have played exceptional defense through 3 games. They have held Ricky Williams to 96 yards tonight. That sounds like a lot, but it's on 31 carries. Fiedler over the middle, McMichael, that's a first down out at the 36.
And that is a huge completion for Jay Fiedler. You just throw an interception. Now they're relying on you to make a play. And this is not an easy throw. I mean, he's throwing over the middle of the traffic, right into the middle of the football field. And Randy McMichaels gets squeezed by London Fletcher and Aaron Schobel. Now the Dolphins get to try and burn some more time off the clock.
McMichael, 4 catches, 56 yards. First down at the 37. Fiedler, pressure from behind from Spikes. Throws sideline and caught close to a first down by Chambers, his 5th grab of the night.
I like the way Norv Turner's calling this football game, the offensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins. He's not afraid to take some shots. His quarterback's made a faux pas. He's coming right back, putting the ball in his hands. Play action to Ricky. Freeze the inside guys. You get one-on-one on the outside. Count on your receivers to win.
Wait. I'll tell you what, look at Chambers getting his feet in. But that faux pas was not Fiedler's fault. That was McKnight's fault. McKnight didn't even look at the ball. And I don't know if he'd have been able to catch it, but at least he could have been able to stop Clemens from intercepting and go for the touchdown.
You know, play callers always take a lot of heat when it doesn't go well, but that guy, North Turner, has always been one of the best.
There's a flag down, and this play went through, so that'll be defense offside. Boy, don't give him anything. Not now. That makes his 1st and 5.
And that's the 3rd time one of the tackles has been offside.
Offside. Defense number 93.
That's
5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
So far, Pat Williams has 2. Sam Adams has 1. Again, credit Jay Fiedler for the use of the cadence.
And what the Buffalo Bills defensively must do, and they've been trying to do that all night, and I think they've done a pretty good job of it. They've got to keep this Miami Dolphins team from no big play. No big play at all. Just keep that ball in front of them, and maybe with the possibility of getting a turnover.
You can't keep letting Ricky run up inside them.
Williams on the draw to the Buffalo 45.
I'll tell you what, when you got 1st and 5 and you have Ricky Williams in your backfield and that defense is tired, I don't even think about doing anything else, but I would line old Rob Conrad up right in front of him and just let him follow Rob right up and through the hole.
Now you got 2nd and 2. You bring in another tight end and
go for
it up inside again.
Why not?
Ricky Williams gained 125 yards a week ago in the win over the Jets. 1 more yard, he has 100 tonight.
Got 100.
Plus, down to the 40, it's another first down, and this is just smash mouth in your face.
Well, see, now I could be an offensive coordinator. I got my first play in.
I've always known.
Yeah, no,
I've always known you've had that hidden talent.
Why do you always look at me strange when I talk about offensive things? But I mean, this is no big secret here. You got Ricky Williams, and he is not. You may look at it. He's got 103 yards. He's only averaging 3.1 yards a carry. I say only.
That's a pretty good defense he's running against.
You bet it is.
The last time they played in December of last year, Ricky rushed for 228 yards, and they lost that game to Buffalo. Fiedler to Williams in the flat. Picks up a couple. What kind of an impact has Ricky Williams had? Larry Zonka, the longtime great fullback, had 15 100-yard games in 2 years. Ricky Williams has already passed Mercury Morris into the #2 spot all-time in Dolphin history.
It's 19 games, by the way. In 19 games, he's done it. And also, North Turner, the offensive coordinator, he's still learning about his star back, too. He's still learning what Ricky does well.
I know what Ricky does well. You hand him the ball and let Ricky run. That's what Ricky does well.
Fiedler with play action. Conrad can't get it. Rob Conrad really upset with himself.
He tries to grab this thing with one hand. Fiedler throws this ball to the outside. And Rob Conrad really, I mean, that ball was really thrown a little too far outside. He didn't have much of a chance to get that ball.
He slowed down a little bit.
He did.
When you have guys not used to doing things, in practice, he comes out, he's wide open, he slows down. In a game, Jay's expecting him to keep on running.
Travis Minor will give Williams a breather on 3rd and 8. Blitz coming. Fiedler, quarterback draw. First down.
Oh, what a
stuck his nose in there and got that last yard.
What a tremendous call, Michael. I mean, you talk about empty backfield. They're coming. They're figuring to run. Watch this. Fiedler does it perfectly. They go by him. The offensive line just blocked everybody they had to. Look at the offensive line up front blocking. That's Seth McKinney, that center block in number 68, and they open up that hole.
And that's Chris Kelsey, the rookie that has a shot at him from Nebraska, and they don't get him.
And you're right about the call. And did you see Fiedler just dive for that last yard? No slide, no protecting himself. He was going to get that first down. Ricky back in there. He'll get 3 hard-earned yards before Takeo Spike stands him up.
Dave Wannstedt was talking about Jay Fiedler. I mentioned it before. When you get the opportunity to make a play, use all your talents. He missed the shot down the field to Chris Chambers earlier in the third quarter. Now he turns around, makes a great play with his legs. The Dolphins have instituted an award, some golden gloves they give out to the toughest play. He won it last week with his touchdown run against the Jets. He might be a candidate with that run here again. He has him hanging in his locker, and the only thing Drew has hanging in his locker is dust right now because he's standing on the sidelines.
I'd consider old Ricky Williams if I were them.
That's true.
An impressive drive by the Dolphins. Fiedler, short set, quick out to Chambers. He dropped the ball. That would have been close to another first down. Perfect throw by Fiedler, and the usually reliable Chambers dropped it.
Oh, but I'll tell you what, you cannot throw this ball any better. How many times have we said that tonight? But look at Chambers. This ball is right into his hands, and he took his eye off the ball.
Saw the same thing happen to Eric Moles right in that same spot. Maybe it's a mystery spot on this field, Paul. You know how you have those bad spots?
We're close to the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, as we get closer to 11 o'clock on Sunday nights, he gets a little weird. He really is. Is there a moon out there?
Big one.
3rd and 6.
Here they come.
Good protection for Fiedler. Intended for Williams. Can't get there. Covered by the linebacker Posey. And Posey can run with a back.
I'll tell you what, that's some tough coverage. You're asking a linebacker, number 96, Posey, to cover Ricky Williams. And watch this. Here comes Posey. Posey does a super job. Well, that ball's thrown back to the outside anyway. I don't think Ricky would have had a chance of making a catch in bounds.
Posey couldn't even grab him. He was past him by so much. Now, Posey was a defensive end in college and has played up and down here.
Mare 1 for 2 tonight. This from 44. Off the dirt. And that's a problem with playing off of that baseball infield. Whether it's the hold or your plant foot or your follow through, things can get away from you. They did, and it's still a 3-point game. Tonight has been a study in frustration for Drew Bledsoe. 2 interceptions, 6 completions in 16 throws, only 58 yards. Very un-Bledsoe-like numbers. And Joe Burns, the second-year free agent out of Georgia Tech, who is subbing for the injured Travis Henry, will get a call and picks up a couple. I mean, I don't think Drew Bledsoe's ever had numbers like that.
Well, I think, first of all, Drew is a rhythm passer, like all of us were. He hasn't had a chance to get into a rhythm because they haven't been on the football field. He's had long yardage situations. He's had long sit-down opportunities. Plus, he's lost Travis Henry as his runner.
Well, this is a Miami pass defense ranked 32nd, dead last in the league after 2 games. They don't look like it, do they?
They got
Jason Taylor
Jonas
came
Jennings.
across. Did Jennings draw him?
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
But even though those numbers look bad, Bledsoe with 26 game-winning drives in the 4th quarter or overtime.
You know, that one thing that they've talked about at the beginning of the year, the Buffalo Bills have to run the football. They have not been able to run the football. And if you can't run the football in the National Football League, you have a tough time winning or setting up your quarterback.
Bledsoe under pressure.
Ogunleye again. This time he just lowers his shoulder and goes right around Mike Williams, number 68, the right tackle.
2 sacks for Ogunleye.
Well, you know, there's no big secret to this. They know they're going to have to throw the football because they can't run the ball. And Ogunleye just took off. He never even hesitated. He just went all the way around Mike Williams and made the sack.
Now, this is where the Dolphins have to be smart in the secondary. The worst thing that can happen to the Miami Dolphins is to commit any type of a penalty that would give the Buffalo Bills an automatic first down. Tackle the guy, keep him in front of the sticks.
3rd and 19. Flags are down. Bledsoe rifles one for Moles, short and incomplete.
Illegal shift.
Boy, you know, when you look at this, you know,
2 men were moving. set before the snap. The penalties decline.
You can talk about
Brings
all
up
the things
fourth
you
down.
want to talk about. This defense has played a great job for the Miami Dolphins, but if you cannot run the football, and the Buffalo Bills last week couldn't run the football, but they played not a very good football team, and Bledsoe was never even touched. But now when they sent these guys, they were sending sometimes 4 guys and getting to Bledsoe. That's the problem.
Warman line drive kick to Rodgers from the 22. And Rodgers cut down. There's a marker down. That may have been a face mask after an 11-yard return. And it was Phil Crosby, a backup fullback down on special teams, number 41.
Paul, you brought it up about the Miami defense. Jim Bates, their defensive coordinator, has done a terrific job of mixing things up.
Personal foul. Grasping the face mask. Number 50 of the kicking team. 15-yard.
15-yard.
First down.
That's huge at this point in the game. There's the flag as Charlie Rodgers dragged down. Only 4:57 left. Four minutes, 57 seconds left to go in a titanic defensive battle. 10-7 Miami.
Want to know how big it is for Miami? In 7 of the 11 drives for the Buffalo Bills, 7 of their 11 drives, they have either gained no yards at all or have lost yardage. And the Buffalo Bills, other than the 2 times they got the ball in Miami's territory, they have never crossed the 50-yard line.
I'd say it's a pretty good defensive job by the Dolphins.
Whoa.
Bills defense has been on the field all night long, and they can expect a big dose of Ricky Williams right here. Can they hold up one more time? Ricky for about 2.5.
You know, Ricky Williams is just amazing because he's been doing this all night long. He has not slowed down. Look at Ricky Williams. Watch his movement right at the hole. He sees it. He's in it. He sets up blocks. He gets to the outside. And this guy now has not slowed down. There is a timeout on the field. There's an injured player on Buffalo's side.
Ricky Williams, 35 carries, 110 yards. They're not going to clean that uniform. They're going to burn it. Providing our aerial pictures tonight, the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. Each year, the Goodyear Blimps visit over 100 communities and participate in dozens of telecasts at major sporting events. Great night to fly here in Miami. Ricky Williams.
Great night to run.
Great night to run for Ricky.
Well,
the injury on the previous play, by the way, was Ryan Denny, the second-year defensive end. Looked like he had cramps, was able to leave the field under his own power.
Well, Greg Williams told us yesterday, he said the one thing we really don't want to see is Ricky Williams carrying the ball between 38 and 40 times. Now, how many's he got?
36.
36. Well, he's going to carry it between 38 and 40 times.
Sam Adams told us yesterday, too. He said when you play Ricky, you've got to be better than you were last week because Ricky will not lay down. And he sure hasn't.
Huge play here as Adams gets a breather. 3rd and 5. Can they keep the drive going and work on that clock? Fiedler, as the receiver goes down, so does a flag.
What a call.
Well, that's a perfect call. Winfield tackled him.
No, it was Kevin Thomas.
Oh, excuse me, Kevin Thomas, I'm sorry.
But what a great call by Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator. It's a pump and go, and boy, Chambers does such a great job of selling it.
You know, you got to have the guts of a riverboat gambler to make calls like that. Norv Turner's done his entire career.
5-yard penalty. And a first down.
You can talk all about the great court. You know, I think Joe Gibbs was a fabulous offensive coordinator. Bill Walsh. I think Norv Turner's right up there with all of them. You're right, Mike. It's a riverboat gambler. It's 3rd and 5, a crucial part of the game. He runs a pump and go. He's got a young guy out there, Thomas only in his 2nd year, and giving Chris Chambers a chance to make the play.
Wow. Now a fresh set of downs with only 3:46 on the clock.
But Buffalo does have all the time.
Heads up for Ricky. Right back to the bread and butter. Lowers his head and pile drives his way down to the 37. Let's go to Susie.
Mike, this does have the feel of a heavyweight fight, and we're closing in on the 12th round. It's deceptively hot down here, very humid. And for this Buffalo run D, they've been hammered all night long by Ricky Williams. Sam Adams has needed a blow a couple of times. You saw Ryan Denny leave with cramps. It seems the only one that isn't tired yet is Ricky Williams. I want to know what he's eating.
Susie, apparently a lot less than he did last year. He dropped about 15 pounds, said he's in the best shape of his life. He has 37 carries for 116 yards. If you're going to carry it between 35 and 40 times, you better be in the best shape of your life and the guy next to you.
Well, you think about something. You know, we keep talking all night long about the Bills' defensive line and linebackers getting tired. What about those offensive linemen that have been moving these 325-pounders around all night long to get holes for Ricky? You don't think those guys are tired?
Dave Wanstead told us after practice on Friday, he said, if we can get this into the fourth quarter, we have an advantage because my guys practicing this stuff all the time, and we're in great shape. And he's right so far.
Buffalo has used its first timeout. 2nd and 6. Williams off the left side behind Conrad, and Ricky Williams first down at the 29.
Man, oh man, I'll tell you who else got a great block up in that hole was Randy McNichols, the tight end. I mean, they sealed that whole end up. Look at, here comes Conrad. Look where Ricky is, right behind 44. He opens it up. Schobel makes the tackle, but it's too late. Here it comes.
Look at the patience. Look at the oh, look at it. Hey, Rob, where are you? Can I buy a ticket on this bus?
The patience and then the burst.
Bus number 44. And remember, Olindo Mare struggled with a field goal attempt out of the dirt on the last series.
Ricky Williams to the 10 and out of bounds. Man, oh man, what a game.
What are you talking about? What kind of glove is that they give?
Boxing gloves, golden boxing gloves.
Well,
they're going to Ricky's locker.
Ricky gets some golden. I'm going to tell you what. When I said he doesn't get tired, Rob Conrad just seals Schobel in the hole. And look at Ricky. I mean, he's trying to stay in bounds and gain that extra yard and keep and run the clock, but they run him out of bounds. And look at this. The power of this guy is incredible.
You think Dave Wansted's not into this game? Holy mackerel, go Ricky, go!
39 carries, 145 yards. Carry number 40, he's inside the 5, and now Buffalo's got to work on the clock. They'll take a second timeout.
You know, the whole thing about it, Joe, is that that's all Buffalo ever talked about. We got to stop Ricky Williams, and they have not been able to do that.
I saw the Bills signal timeout, but the clock continues to run. Maybe they waved it off.
They're going to let it go down to the 2-minute warning and use that as their other, well, now they're going to take it before. London Fletcher just signaled for the timeout.
Well, London Fletcher's been signaling for a timeout since it was 11 seconds.
2:05 left in a 3-point game. They have reset the clock to 2:10. 5 seconds back on the clock. The Dolphins, behind the running game of Ricky Williams, have more than twice the minutes in possession time as do the Buffalo Bills.
Well, you know, and we wonder why does Drew Bledsoe, why did he struggle tonight? Because he hasn't been on the football field. And Dave Wansted's defense has been spectacular, and the offense, different individuals have come up with plays when they've had to.
2nd and goal to go for Miami. Ricky inside the 2. 41 carries. That is an all-time Miami Dolphin record.
If he gets in the end zone, you're going to hear a roar out of this place like you've never heard in Pro Player Stadium.
We have reached a 2-minute warning. 3rd and goal for the Dolphins when we come back. Stuart Scott and Steve Levy standing by to bring you Sports Center, bringing you up to date on everything there is. And gee whiz, guys, I hope we're not keeping you up.
Sean Salisbury, get off the set. You get a lot of time. Let Stuart and Steve have theirs.
3rd and goal. Will it be number 42 for Ricky Williams? It will. No signal. He's at the goal line.
No, they're not going to give it to him. They're going to mark it short.
4th down. Now what do you do?
I kick. Well, give me a chance to think. I'd call timeout.
All right, does Ricky get in or not?
First thing I do is call timeout.
All the ball has to do is touch the end line, and that I call right there. No. Whoa.
Timeout is the first thing I do.
He just drives people backwards.
Now, is his knee on the ground when the ball crosses the plane? His body is never on the ground. It's never on the ground. And if he reaches over and crosses the plane, it should be a touchdown.
But if they blow the whistle dead at that time, it's over. It's over.
All right, now that we've called the timeout, Paul, what am I thinking? I'm going to go
run it right up the middle and stick it to him.
I'm going to run it.
Unbelievable numbers for Ricky Williams. 42 carries, not only a franchise record, a career high for him, 152 yards.
Normally when a guy gets 152 yards, there's a 40-yard run or a 30-yard run mixed in. He's averaged only 3.6 yards a carry, and every yard has been a tough one to get.
The way they have that thing up there, the Buffalo Bills are out of timeouts. Is that correct?
We have an official challenge to take a look at this to see if Ricky got in. Now
first of all, he is not on the ground yet. Now, is his momentum stopped? That's one of the things you have to take into consideration. Because if you look at his legs, he's not down yet.
His momentum's not stopped.
All right. His momentum stopped. Go ahead, run it through. Look where the ball is. No.
Yeah, he's in the end zone.
No, he wasn't. That ball is not in the end zone. He pulls it over afterwards. Watch it now. It's not in the end zone yet.
But he's not on the ground.
Now it is.
But he's not on the ground. I think that's what you have to look at. Did his knee or any part of his body that would qualify him to be down?
The other thing is, did the whistle blow?
Yeah.
If the whistle blew, it's over.
Can't tell.
The whistle is everything. So, get a whistle.
The play is being reviewed to determine if a score was made before the runner was down.
All right.
All right.
So we don't have a whistle involved at this point.
There you go.
Here's the look.
Clarify that. Unless somebody comes up with the old invert whistle deal. But Ricky, now that's when the ball goes over.
I think the key is right here. This is the look that gives you the look the same way the officials are straddling and looking at the goal line. Is the knee on the ground? No. Is the ball over? Yes. I would say that the ball has broken the plane. I would think that this would be reviewed and ruled a touchdown.
So it rests in the hands of
the officials.
Ron Winter.
I'll tell you, the only thing that they could possibly say is that his momentum was stopped, and that is the only thing they can say. And I agree with you, he's over.
If not, I think they should go for it anyway. If we get to that point.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. If that's the case, they got the ball on about the half. That ball should be even closer to the goal line.
And this is a great challenge by Dave Wanstead.
It's not a challenge.
No, can't challenge.
It's challenged by upstairs. You're right.
2 minutes.
You're right.
Here's the other thing. Let's take it a little more forward. Let's say the Dolphins go for it. They're not in. The Dolphins go for it. The Bills get the ball back. Last week, Drew Bledsoe got in the huddle, said to the guys against Jacksonville, we're going to score with 99 yards to go. He doesn't need to score. All they need to do is kick a field goal to get this thing into a tie game.
Ron Winter still looking. Junior Seau with Dave Wanstead.
The Dolphins are talking about the what-ifs.
Junior Seau, if it's 4th down, give it to me.
Well, you know the thing, too, is they brought Junior Seau here. They brought Sammy Knight here to make plays. Both of them made big plays in this game. Junior with a sack, Sammy with an interception. And they got Ricky here to give him a running game. And, boy, have they had those 3 guys pay off.
Here we go.
After review, the ball carrier, with the ball in his possession, breaks the play into the goal line before anything touches the ground. Touchdown.
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Great call, Joseph.
That's what instant replay is all about. And it's not something that either one of the coaches decided. That's Ricky Williams' second effort, third effort. It's almost apropos for Ricky Williams that it's that kind of an effort, and unfortunate for Greg Williams and his ball club. Look at Dave Wannstedt.
I'm telling you what the biggest complaint's going to be tomorrow by the Buffalo Bills and by that man right there is his momentum was stopped.
Or did the whistle blow?
And the whistle was not involved.
The whistle was not involved.
So don't worry about that part.
So it is a touchdown, 42 carries, 153 yards for Ricky Williams, and boy, he earned every one of them tonight.
I think if Ricky Williams didn't have a helmet on, Dave Wannstedt would have kissed him.
He doesn't have one on now.
Well, the emotional moment's gone.
Timing is everything.
All right, guys.
There's it. Watch this. Dave says, come here, Ricky. Come here. Come here. Yeah, give me plant one on you. Oh, then he's going to look at him, right? He's looking. Oh, no, I don't think so. You got a helmet on.
Ricky's also thinking, don't hit me. I've been hit enough tonight.
When you think of the importance of this football game for the Miami Dolphins, if they were to lose a second consecutive home game, lose to the Buffalo Bills, and have to go to Buffalo in late December and play, I think that Dave Wannstedt would have been an unbelievable pressure cooker as well as his football team. I don't think the pressure is as great on Greg Williams because this game, I mean, let's face it, it's a 10-7 ball game, and they made mistakes to hurt themselves, the Bills did.
Remember this. Ricky talked to Susie yesterday, day before yesterday, about being the leader and how you lead. Now, let me ask you a question, boys. You think he's a leader?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you bet. You don't have to say anything. He did it on the field.
He certainly is a player, I'll tell you that.
Oh, man.
You know, this is a rivalry. Now, the next time these two teams play, Junior Seau, when he joined this football team, and you're talking about the Jets and talking about New England, he said when he was in San Diego, the Raiders were his rivalry. He said every week here with the Miami Dolphins, you play somebody, and it's just like a rivalry game.
He said he thought he's already played the Raiders twice. This would be 3 times. Both defenses have been outstanding, but the Buffalo offense could not keep anything going, and that allowed Ricky Williams just to hammer away all night long.
Hey, Ricky, please look a little tired. He has to look tired.
The other thing is great job by Miami's front 4. They basically rushed 4 all night to go after Drew Bledsoe.
McGee and Antonio Brown are deep. Antonio Brown, the ball goes in the end zone, and he'll fall on it there. Let's go down to Susie.
Well, Mike, we've seen what Ricky Williams can do on the field. What's so impressive is what he does off the field, and it's no surprise that he and the legendary Jim Brown have forged a friendship. Brown sees him as a thinker, smart, and immediately recognized he's different, and like Brown, eager to use his position to bring about social change. Ricky's priority is education. He went to school to be an elementary school teacher, and in New Orleans, and here he's seen a disparity between public schools and private schools. He wants to get involved with the school board and help kids get their test scores up. He's always thinking.
He's a very bright, caring young man, Suze, isn't he? Bledsoe under pressure as he has been all night and throws a strike, and it's dropped.
Oh, Josh Reed has this one hit him right between the 8 and the 2. We saw Fiedler rocket one into Chris Chambers earlier. Drew Bledsoe under heat again. Here comes that front 4, but he still manages to rocket it out. Surtain in the hip pocket, right off the hands, and gone.
It's a night Drew Bledsoe would just as soon forget.
And you know, with those numbers, you would think, boy, they were running the football tonight because he's only thrown the ball 18 times.
Miami did.
Yeah, Miami did. They didn't.
And Travis Henry has a rib injury. He's been out for a long time. Still no report on how serious it is. And Bledsoe does the smart thing, gets down as he crosses the 30.
Miami Miami has 3 timeouts. Buffalo still has 1 left.
Since his rookie season, Drew Bledsoe has never had a game under 58 yards. Frankly, I didn't think it was possible.
I wouldn't either.
Buffalo uses its final timeout with 1:13 on the clock.
When you think about week 1,
this is how big this game is. Miami, with a loss tonight, would have gone to 1-2, 1-1 in the division. Buffalo would have been 3-0. But as it looks right now, there's going to be a 3-way tie at the top of the AFC East, with the Jets right now mired at 0-3 in 4th place. And with the schedule the way it is, and the playoff situation the way it's set up, you need to win your division.
Yeah, it's the way you get in. You can't count on a wild card spot, and you know this division's going to go down to a 3-man race. When you look at the way these teams started, what Buffalo did to New England in week 1, and how Miami let Houston hang around in week 1, you wouldn't think that was just a couple weeks ago with the intensity of this game from these 2 teams.
4-man rush. Bledsoe over the middle. Caught by Shaw up to the 47. We said at the beginning of the game, if Miami wins tonight, everyone will be back on the bandwagon. You can believe that. But I don't think there's going to be too many jumping ship in Buffalo. Their defense has shown too much improvement. And you know Bledsoe's not going to have games like this. That one's complete to Shaw.
Now he'll get his numbers up with this late charge, but still the credit has to go to the entire Miami defense.
They've been superb.
They're offside, Miami Dolphins. This is a free play.
Free play for Bledsoe, and has to throw it away on the run.
You know who's really been quiet tonight? Eric Moulds.
Sure has. Caught 2 early, and that's been it. Stay tuned for Sports Center. Coming up with Stuart Scott and Steve
Offside.
Levy. And we will have an incredible story for you on John Dornbos. You should watch that tonight. It's a remarkable story on the Bills long snapper. Chiefs, Rams.
Chiefs could be the best team in football.
And Boomer will be along with his top 10 plays.
And I think Ricky Williams gets it. I think the Chiefs right now are the best team in football.
Bledsoe under pressure again, throws incomplete.
Agunlie was right at his ankles again.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he's taken a beating. You know, for a guy that last week wasn't hardly touched but one or 2 times. Not tonight.
Agunlie, a real find for this club, because he had been projected as a #1 at Indiana until he was hurt as a senior. And he's played like a #1 since he's been installed at left end opposite Jason Taylor.
About the same size, a little taller at 6'4".
Only 22 seconds left. Screen to Burns. Tackled inbounds. And the Dolphin fans start counting down. And Bledsoe spoils their fun at 5. There are no 10-point plays in football. They're down by 10 with 5 seconds left.
I'll tell you what else there's not down on that field. I can bet you $100,000 there's not a bug down there.
Everybody's been
They've eaten them all.
You mean Buffalo's defense has got them all?
They've got them all. They've eaten every bug down there.
And Tequio has had that wonderful balloon of his in Buffalo get a little leak in it. But they'll be back.
Bledsoe steps up on the last play of the game for the end zone. Tipped and incomplete. That's it. The Dolphins face a huge challenge tonight, and behind Ricky Williams and a tremendous defense, come away a winner. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Susie Colburn, our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from Miami. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.